welcome to the Healing Hearts interview series. I'm your host, Sophia Jacob, the founder of Healing Hearts. Today I'll be interviewing Alicia Mathew, the co-founder and president of Science at Youth for SciTech. Welcome, Alicia. Thank you for being here, taking the time to hop on. So for a quick introduction of our organization and what we do, Healing Hearts is a student-led organization that aims to spread awareness about health. We provide tips, posts, and information all about health. We also create other media content, including our YouTube interviews, sharing expertise from others in the medical field. So to start with the interview, it would be great if you could introduce yourself.
Of course. Hi, my name is Alicia Mathew. I'm a sophomore at Metea Valley High School in Aurora, Illinois. I co-founded Youth for SciTech, and essentially our aim as a youth-led organization is to encourage our youth to join careers in science and technology fields, especially those who are underrepresented, and that's a big focal point of our organization.
That's nice. I love how you have a goal and that you're achieving what you're aiming for. So for our first question, what experience do you have in the field of health?
Of course, yeah. So I know that like the science and technology aspect is branching out a little bit from medicine, but the past few years, especially last year, Youth for SciTech has done a lot of like events that have helped me learn more about medicine, and it's helped more of our members and more of our community learn more about medicine. So last year, we partnered with this organization in the Aurora Naperville area called the Alive Teen Center. Basically, they have a space where teens can go and attend camps and programs. We ran a camp there where we did a medical fair. We brought in a medical student who helped teach our kids suture. So suturing skills and stuff like that. That was um, kind of like a stretch for us because, giving needles and suturing kids and stuff to children is not the best idea. But we had like trained medical professionals who could take it over for us. And so I had the opportunity to work with a lot of community members who are doctors and medical professionals, and that just gave me a lot of exposure to the industry and the practice.
Yeah, no, what you're doing is really nice, and yeah. Okay, so a little bit about you. How would you describe a typical day in your life?
That's a good question. Well, I'm a high school student, so most of my day is just school. I do opera. That's like my hook. I hate singing, but I love opera because like ever since I was a kid, there wasn't many things I was like really good at. Like I was good at art, but I felt that like a lot of other people were better than me and I never like make it to the point that I'd want to be. So when I picked up opera, I really committed to it. And so after school, I would do like maybe 3, 4 hours of opera, and then I would come home and work on my organizations and my homework, and yeah.
Yeah, that's a lot of dedication to your hobbies. So as the co-founder of Youth for SciTech, what is your role and what does the organization do?
So my role is mostly, well, it was essentially supposed to be like managing and making sure everything runs smoothly, but lately it's turned into like I like run half of it. Like I do partnerships, I do like networking. I handle like most of the science stuff. So my co-founder, who's Pranati Sagi, she's the president of technology. She handles all like the tech events, but that means like the majority of the events are science, and I take care of those. Like for example, we did an introductory event where I brought in a computer science professional and a pharmacy student to speak to our members and to introduce everyone about Youth for SciTech. So I just take a leadership role in our events, in our articles, in our partnerships, and everything like that.
Yeah, that's cool. What are some challenges you faced being the co-founder of your organization?
Oh, that's a great question. We've been here for a while. I think like, ever since I was in eighth grade. So we've been around the block a couple of times. We have financial sponsorship for a 501(c)(3), but the biggest challenge that we're facing currently is the paperwork. Um, I I'm in charge of filling out the paperwork, and it's been a nightmare. It's ironic because since we're a youth-led organization, we have like a shortened form that we can apply with, but it's still taking us a while. Um, but in general, we struggled a lot with like a member engagement because we are a youth-led organization and like our volunteers are all high schoolers and middle schoolers, and so that means we have to take a lot of downtime. But overall, I think that we've conquered a lot of our challenges, just making sure that like our organization is something that people actually want to participate in instead of it being like a chore. And especially with our more like local and in-person events, it's like if you want to go, it's rewarding, but if you don't want to go, you don't miss out. Like you can always participate in something else through our organization.
Yeah. So what future plans do you have for your organization?
We hope to get 501(c)(3) certification. That will allow more of our members to have volunteer hours that are approved by their school, even though we do have PVSA certified hours already. We are also hoping to run more virtual events because we did two in-person camps, but we have people from all over the world, over 6 countries. So I'm really looking forward to having more engagement outside of just Illinois and Aurora and Naperville. Um, we have been featured on the news, but I want to be featured again. So um, we're looking for a better news feature because like we had like a footnote in the Chicago Tribune, and that's monumental for me. But I would like to have like a whole article dedicated to us. So yeah.
Yeah, once again, that's really cool. And
Thank
how
you.
you were able to make it to the news. So what's one skill that you've gained being part of this organization?
Um, Communication. I had like I'm gonna be honest. Sixth grade, seventh grade, I had no friends. It was just me because my friend group, um, I'm still friends with them now, but they were like two of the quietest kids, and I was the third one. So I never thought that I would be here talking to another person without like having notes or like reading off a script because it was hard for me to communicate with others in middle school. But in eighth grade, I kind of took a chance making this organization, knowing that I would have to talk to a lot of people. But my co founder, Pranati, really helped me through it because she's a really social person. So I learned a lot of communication skills.
That's nice. Um, okay, so I saw in your profile that you used to be a content and marketing intern at Strut Learning. So how's it like there? What was the experience?
Okay, Strut was a big highlight in my life. I'm actually kind of still there. I help out with I take like a consulting role with all of like their content work, their scripts and their website. But in eighth grade, I applied for an internship through Built in Chicago for Strat Learning. I knew I wasn't gonna get it because it said for graduate students and college students only, and then I ended up getting it. And I was like, oh no, what do I do? I have to commit to this. So I talked to like the founder and we talked about my schedule and we decided that I could handle like a summer internship. So I came in as the only middle schooler. So it was horrifying. It was so scary because everyone else was so old and so responsible. And by the end of it, I ended up being the project manager, so second in command for their summit, and I led a small team. So I mainly worked on like content writing for the website. Most of the content on there is designed by me. Also, some of the UX UI elements on their emotional intelligence test called CELDA. And I think they changed the name to EQ360. That's also designed by me. And the summit, I did a lot of account management and project management for that. And I was also a speaker. So yeah, I just took a really big role.
Yeah, that's a lot of work to do, while you were still in eighth grade.
Yeah.
Are there any specific projects that you're working on that you would like to share with the viewers?
Yeah, of course. So even though I'm no longer at Strut Learning, I just want to let the viewers know that there are a lot of opportunities that you can find, even if like if I say something like, "Oh, intern at Strut Learning," that doesn't mean that like you also have to intern at like a similar company. Like no matter what you do or where you want to go, there's always something that's going to be right for you. Like right now, I'm doing marketing at Berkeley Pharmatech. which is a biotechnology company in Silicon Valley. And I think that like I wouldn't have been able to find that experience if I hadn't known or realized that like there was gonna be something for me. So don't stop looking, because there's always gonna be a good opportunity. And if you can't find anything, then make one.
Yeah, I like that. So what advice do you have it for people who are finding it difficult to cope with situations like, as a youth, there's the constant pressure of school, especially in high school when there's a lot of pressure to perform well.
That's a really good question. So that's like a really good question. I think I think everyone's different, but I'm just gonna give you a piece of my life. So I was recently diagnosed with an illness that makes it difficult for me to go to school and to like make my commitments and to like really put my entire effort into school. It's kind of like divided between my illness and school right now. But for me, I had trouble like grasping the fact that like I couldn't do all the things that I wanted to do for college. And not that my final goal is to go to college, but it's to like prepare myself as well as I can to like have a good future. And I'm worried that like I can't make it there. But when I came to the realization that like your future doesn't want you to be just a person who does like a million things, they want you to put yourself first. So if you're struggling with like school or coping with stress, then talk to your teachers. Like it's no shame to be in easier classes. It's no shame to like not do as many things as other people because everyone's different and everyone has a different ability to do things. And if your talents don't lie in schoolwork, then that's fine. Find something that like makes you happy and motivates you.
Yeah, I like that. That's definitely something that I think we could all use. So people often refuse to seek help, especially when it's like mental health related. So do you have any tips or suggestions for them?
Yeah, of course. Um, well, this might sound kind of mean, but if you want to believe that like you're gonna be fine by yourself, then like think about your future self because your future self is gonna be thinking back about how like you could have changed something by getting help, and your future self would regret that you didn't improve your life when you were younger, because you're gonna see the effects of like who you are when you grow up, because I believe that like your childhood and your teenage years make who you are as an adult. So make sure that you're in a good place mentally, because I would say that's more important than being successful.
Yeah, I can definitely like or I've experienced that, I'm like looking back and then, kind of regretting some of
Yeah,
the decisions I've made.
yeah, same.
Yeah, so as you've accomplished a lot, so what do you feel like most proud about out of all your accomplishments?
Okay, that's okay. I have a story for this one. I was just thinking about this earlier today. So in middle school, there's this guy in my choir class, and I know he's watching this, so I'm just gonna say this to him. He was so mean to me for 3 straight years. He was like, "Oh, Alicia, you're never gonna be a good singer. You're never gonna amount to," he said that verbatim, "You're never gonna amount to anything." Um, and so in high school, we both made it into the same advanced choir this year. Um, but I changed my perspective a little bit, and I decided that I didn't want to live like I didn't want to live and follow his words. I wanted to like break free from like all the mean things that he said to me because we were friends at the time. So like I took everything personally. But I decided that like I was gonna use my talents in a way that would make me feel like I really enjoyed what I was doing. So then I got into opera, and this year I will be performing at Carnegie Hall. So yeah,
That's yeah, that's a big accomplishment. And I love how, y I mean, like, in a way that you're, like, not listening to those who or, like,
yeah.
you stand up for yourself in a way.
Don't listen to the haters.
Yeah.
They have insecurities.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Um, so, as you're, like, almost in college, have you thought about, like, your future aspirations?
Oh yeah. I'm a big planner. Yeah. I have like everything planned out, but I don't know how it's gonna go though. But we'll see. I want to do my undergraduate at uh, Yale, hopefully. Um, if not Yale, then Wheaton College in Illinois. I want to study psychology and hopefully like opera or vocal studies. Then after that, I'd like to get like some sort of higher degree. I don't know yet. And then I would like to work at the Naval Medical Base in Groton, Connecticut.
I love how it's all planned out. So we've come to the end of our interview. Is there anything else that you'd like for our viewers to know or hear about?
um, I'll share with you the best piece of advice that I heard recently. I actually have it saved on my phone for this very moment. I like another piece of advice is just like make inspiration things. Like make yourself feel like what you're doing is worth it because that's the most important thing. Don't do something that you don't think is worth it. And also, the quote, I'm trying to find it because I'm not good at saving things. That just proves that I have so many amazing things that's like motivating me to do stuff. So just save your stuff. Um, yeah, I I think this is. Oh no, there we go. So this is goes out to the viewers. You are one of the sweetest, most kind-hearted, gentlest soul that I know. You deserve someone who will reflect that and make you feel loved. So don't settle. Don't settle for anything. Get what you want because you deserve it.
I love that. So thank you once again for coming out here. It's definitely an honor to speak with you and have you as part of our Healing Hearts interview series. I wish you the best of luck with all your future plans.